This video is the story of my XR. By XR, I mean Honda XR, like, you know, XR 80, XR 200, XR 650, you know, all those. Well, in my particular case, it was a 1983 model XR 200R. It was online November 20th, browsing the World Wide Web, you know, looking for something cheap. And I came across this 1983 XR 200R. It was, I believe, $675. And of course, this was in 2011? What year is it? 2012? 2010. Either 2010 or 2011. And yeah, I came across this 1983 XR 200R. It was like 30-something years old. 2000, yeah. It was 2010. 30-something year old bike. It was just like the coolest thing ever, because it was only $675. So I sent the guy I texted the guy, I believe. It was all in capitals. I don't like it when people put their Craigslist posts all in capitals. And but anyway, I texted the guy, and yeah, he said it still ran great. That still started for a second kick, you know. So I decided, hey, can you eat tomorrow? And he said, yeah. And tomorrow was Thanksgiving, right? So yeah, I acquired the money. I went over there. It was like an hour drive for me. But well, I guess it wasn't too bad. I live out here in the middle of nowhere. But I drove the hour or whatever, or got a ride, I guess, because I still can't drive. Drove the hour. Got down there. This guy walks out. He's an older guy, older gentleman, and he tells me the story about how basically the bike was a like the backup bike for a race team. It had only been like one race, and other than that, though, they never used it. And before that, it was a farm bike. And yeah, it was like a farm bike before that. So I'm thinking, oh, this bike wouldn't be used or nothing, because I guess, I mean, one race ain't gonna hurt a motor. And especially the old XRs and things were like indestructible. So I test ride it, you know, paid the $675. Get it home. I get it home, and yeah, I get it home, and I was going to like a Thanksgiving party shortly after. Thanksgiving gathering, and this guy had a little, like an XR 80, and I just had this, you know, bike sitting on the trailer, because I just went straight there. Had this bike sitting on the trailer. This was my first bike, by the way. Never kick-started a vehicle in my life. My four-wheeler with electric start. So, I get there, and we're trying to start this thing, and we never got it started. We would push start it, and it would run for a second and just kind of die. We could never really get it running right. So that kind of sucked, because I wanted to ride, you know. I'd never ridden a bike. I just wanted to get on and go. And but yeah, we got there. That was fun. Okay, we got there. You know, we couldn't get it started or nothing. So I came home. Got it running, or yeah, it was real cold. It was winter, of course, Thanksgiving, or fall, whatever, technical people. But it was Thanksgiving, right? And yeah, so this guy met me on Thanksgiving Day, you know, all that crap. Came home, and finally got it to run. Like, it was like the third kick after I got home. And I guess every little bike, you know, has its own little tricks of starting it. Finally got this thing. Finally figured out the trick to this thing. Started riding it, you know, having the time of my life out here on these dirt roads. And let's go back down here. Having the time of my life on this little bike, because I'd never ridden before, you know. I just thought it was the most powerful thing ever. And I had a buddy who'd come over occasionally, and I was riding, and he would take pictures of me like, I would do like a little pop wheelie. I'd pop a wheelie. I wouldn't ride it or anything. It'd just be like, brap, you know, just bring it up a little bit, you know. And okay, logs. Forgot about these. And he would like take pictures perfectly timed. Back then, I didn't know that you could screenshot. And he like took perfectly timed pictures. And yeah, I mean, I'll post some of the pictures in this video. You know, like there's one of them right there. Yeah, like I would just, that was one of my best ones too. I would just like be going along and pop it up, and I'd come back and talk to him, and he'd have like this perfect picture of me, you know. It's like, what kind of sorcery is this? Oh, drug bottom. But anyway, that happened, and this is the story of the demise of my XR. Okay, I was out riding, you know. I got home from school, right? I saw like 7 or 8 of my buddies riding, like a buddy on a Raptor 700, a TRX 700XX, a YFC 450, or 2 YFC 450s, like a KT, or not a KTM, a Kawasaki, their 450, whatever it is, like an LTR, whatever it was, and yeah. But I hope nobody comes flying around these roads too fast, because they would plow into that thing. But all my buddies were out riding, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna join in, you know. I got home off the bus, sprinted, and got to my bike. Started riding, and I was out riding, and we were just like cruising around back roads, you know. And I had to stop to do something. I just told him to go ahead and go on, because I was getting kind of far away. I needed to head home anyway. And I do all that, and then I try a wheelie. I come all the way back, land on the back fender, but I catch the bike. The bike didn't lay over nothing, so I catch it, hop back on, start it back up, take off, and I'm just cruising along, you know. I wasn't going too fast or nothing, just cruising along, and then suddenly like, and it like started making this weird noise, and it just wouldn't run. So I stopped, and I stopped, and I kicked it, I bet you like 150 times, or about 100 times, to be completely honest, about 100 times, in my honest opinion. I couldn't get it to start, and what I did was I called the Honda shop, my local Honda shop, and I called my local Honda shop. Ooh, that looks fun. And I kept like losing their call, and yeah. But I called my Honda shop. They couldn't give me no help. They're like, maybe the spark plug's foul or something like that. But they said they couldn't do that unless I brought it in. And you know, like they normally would. But I was talking to them. Oh, that's too much. Nope, not gonna happen. But yeah, called them. They couldn't do nothing over the phone, of course. I'll try this, I guess. Oh, you got something to try. That was hard. Oh, low might help. I can smell the belt. But, yeah, it won't start. So, I'm just thinking the worst, you know. I'm thinking this thing is like just completely trashed, like the gearbox is trashed or something. So a buddy of mine comes along right about then on his Rancher, and luckily he has a rope for some reason. And he's like, "Sure, I'll take you home." And stupid me, I tied the rope to the handlebars. That kind of sucked on that ride home. But and I keep trying to like start, like push start it or whatever, pull start it while he's towing me, and that ain't working. So I get home, you know, and I think like the next day we pull the motor, we checked the carb, it wasn't clogged or nothing, so we pull the motor. The top end looks good, or not the top end, The rockers and stuff look good. The valve springs look good. And it's getting pretty late by this time. By the time we get all the stuff done. And I convinced my dad to help me hurry up and pull the top end off, like the cylinder off. And he's like, okay, whatever. So we started to pull the cylinder. Oh, what was that? That was a stick, I hope. But we started to pull the cylinder. We got it off, and there's just this mangled piece of piston up in here. The valves are fine. The timing sprocket, it's like just like got the teeth on the sprocket are just like ground out just about. And yeah, and I guess what happened was the timing chain slipped. The can held the valve down for too long. It tagged the piston tagged it, and it just like tore a chunk out the piston. And that happened. And yeah, and this piston's just like tore up, you know. It's all in pieces, and like there's a big chunk missing out of the side of it. I'll post a picture right about here, you know. And yeah. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this episode has been brought to you by the letter B, which stands for burnout. Still spinning, still spinning, still spinning. Hooked up.